Today we're gonna break down this movie
and spoil some shit. It's our review with spoilers of Ant-Man and the Wasp. The film opens with a flashback to Hank and Janet's final mission, with Janet shrinking between the atoms into the quantum realm, gone forever.
Flash forward to 2015, Hank and Hope spend 2 years creating a way into the quantum realm.
Flash past those 2 years and Scott is under house arrest after the events of Civil War. He then gets a vision of Janet in the quantum realm, gives Hank a call and ends up in a tiny car on his way to help the duo in their quest to find Janet.
The Pims need one final part for their quantum cannon, striking a deal with our first villain, Sonny Birch. An angry man that kinda just hates everyone, there's no real depth, just bad.
When the deal turns south, Hope breaks out of wings in the film's first of many action sequences.
Here we meet the Ghost, the quantum phasing antagonist of the film. Now this is a character with depth and emotion and backstory. Take note, Sonny.
From here, the rest of the film is the Pims and Scott's quest to bring Janet back from the quantum realm, all culminating in a street chase through San Fran, juxtaposed with a unique and impossible journey into the quantum realm.
Wrap that up in comedy humor, sprinkle on some tender moments, and you've got yourself a Marvel movie. Oh, and Stan Lee's in it too.
He is. The film just starts. Like, you were on the phone, and I was like, it started. Like, there's no lead in.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
hey, Hope, and then it's like the film's going. And I like that.
Yeah.
I like it quick.
You get to nudge me.
It's like,
my gosh.
okay, it's right now. Okay.
But one of the best things about that opening scene is it actually starts where the old Ant-Man ended, basically.
Yeah.
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 Like 2 years ago when Evangeline Lilly has that horrible haircut. Your business.
Your business. Good. I was glad you got, because you've complained about that haircut since 2015.
Since 2015.
And yeah, I'm glad they
Yeah.
addressed it as being all business.
Yeah.
And I liked seeing film. I've given up on being excited and being blown away by it now. But like de-aging actors, Marvel they just throw it in now. Like when they did it, I can't remember.
So good. They did it with
They've done it with
Iron Man.
Yeah, with RDJ. They've done it at the start of. Actually, they did it in the start of the first Ant-Man. Maybe it's going to be a thing because at the start of the first Ant-Man, Hank walks into a room full of Shield people,
yes,
and it's
yes,
like
he does.
de-aged Peggy and stuff. It's not a Marvel movie unless they de-age someone.
But they do it so well.
Yeah, it was a good opening, and it was a good sort of. It sets up the father-daughter relationships, which is everyone's got one in this film.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, that's very true.
Everyone's
Yeah, well, both opening scenes set up the father-daughter relationship, really.
Yeah, true, both of
because
them,
the first one is
Hank and
Hope.
Yeah.
And then Scott and
she's got a cool Cassie. Yeah, I was
Scott and Cassie is like the ultimate father-daughter activity ever.
And it was plausiple.
Like you could totally
do that. Yeah.
Especially if you're under house arrest for 2 years.
Yeah.
You had all the time in the world.
I love it. Within this opening scene, a little bit of Will thing, because Marvel films all have great soundtracks, but they just forget that there was another film, and they just forget about that theme. Like, Captain America has 3 different themes in each film. Iron Man has 3 different...
Yeah.
This one, as soon as they're in the tunnel, it's playing the theme from the first Ant-Man, and I was like, yeah,
Continuity.
that's what you do. Yeah, I was so excited, because the only other one, like, apart from the Avengers, is Guardians, and Guardians, they're good. So I was like, alright film, you're setting this up.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Yeah. One thing after we finished watching this movie is that I realised that this movie is so full, and we will talk about those elements now, but they do it so simply. So they bring like 5 different elements in, you're like, I completely understand all of it. They make a good, succinct, cute of like, this is what's happened in the last couple of years, and this is why Scott's on the house arrest, because he went to Germany and like became really giant and stuff.
Yeah, I'm so glad Marvel are doing that, because it's getting a bit too big. Like, if apart from nerds, you know, the general public aren't going to watch 3 films a year from these people, so they need to make it accessible for anyone, and they're doing it.
They're
really
doing
good.
it really well.
Once Scott's had his vision, which is, you know, it turns out that they've opened the portal, and it's given him a vision of Michelle Pfeiffer's young face again. Then he gets zapped by a wasp, and then you see them.
Oh!
So you don't see them again until Scott meets them again, which is
very
really cool.
good. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hank and Hope's relationship in this movie is so
good.
great. There's just such this bond. I don't think there probably is like real father-daughters who like I don't know that, but like it's just it's so good.
Yeah.
So the idea for Hank and Hope's plotline is that they want to get Michelle Pfeiffer back.
Yeah.
Basically. What's her name?
Janet. Janet Van Dyne. I think it was really interesting that Michelle Pfeiffer's like in it very little. Like, she's in the back half of the film, and I like, It felt, and not in a bad way, it felt like they could only afford her for so much. They were like, so for this scene, Paul Rudd, you're going to play Michelle Pfeiffer. Because they were like, that'll cut costs. That's just less people on set. And it was a very good scene. It was very funny.
That was great, that moment.
Yeah. It's like, you've got a comedy actor, like, use him, and he just,
Yeah.
And he's still emotional somehow. You're still like, this is her seeing them for the first time in 20, 30 years.
It's his face. He goes.
Yeah. And at the same time, it's
and you're
hilarious.
like, oh, this is so great.
Yeah.
I can't believe this because it's Paul Rudd, but I mean, I can believe it because it's Paul Rudd.
Yeah. What a it's this whole cast is great. The one person that he's great in a period piece, but in this and in Tomb Raider, he's just very stereo. He's just the villain. It's Walter Goggins as something.
Sonny Birch.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw his face, I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, I heard you audibly groan.
I think it's because I just hated him in Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's just terrible. That film just didn't write him well. So they've written a better villain for him in this, but it's still...
he's I prefer, out of the two movies, I prefer him in this one, but I frustrated that the first time I saw
him, you're like, oh god.
Him, and I was like, oh, him again? Get out of town.
I think there's actually a line where, like, Lewis is like, oh no, not you again. I was like, yeah, no, I'm feeling that too.
That's one thing that this movie does really well, is that in the moments when you're like, oh, this is a very cheesy, stereotypical movie, they make fun of it. The truth serum part.
It's a very good scene.
Yeah.
Very
it's
funny.
like, it's not truth serum. Truth serum doesn't exist. Well, does it, what is it then? It just kind of persuades you to open up about your things. So it's truth serum, but it's not truth serum. Like, it's just great.
This film is light. It's a very light movie, which it's a good refresher.
Yeah. What else goes on? There's ghosts.
The ghost, that's right, is another plot. Like you said,
there's like two...
There's two villains. Yeah.
Two villains, and then one kind of general tagline. Not tagline.
The storyline?
Storyline.
You've got the main plot, which is getting Janet. That's the whole point, really, of the film. But then, I guess you've also got Scott being under house arrest and needing to be back there. There's actually, really, it's not three now, I've realised. You've also got Lewis looking after the company, and Scott also kind of looking after that. You've got Walter Goggins' thing, and you've got the ghost. There's 5 plots in this film, and it never feels messy. It's like Arrested. It's like Arrested Development, where you got all these things, and everything, because at the end of the film, they all end up in the same place as well. But I think, it's a Marvel film, so we talk about the action, and there's some good action in this film. And I thought, personally, Hope's first fight scene is, better than, not all of the action combined of Ant-Man, but, it's a better first piece of action in a film than Ant-Man did. I was, straight in, which is cool, flipping in the air, growing, shooting people.
I like the fact that you never have to go through her, training montage to become a super... She just, bam! She's the superhero. She's the Wasp, and she knows exactly what to do. And it has been 3 years.
So we didn't see that.
It's great. And you're like, yeah, so believable.
It's the visual effects behind it, because there's also the ghost visual effects, we'll get to in a sec. But everything's so seamless visually in this film. It knows what should be CGI, and it just plays with that. And they're impossible CGI things, and it still looks good.
Yeah.
That can't happen, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I accept this. Yeah.
Yeah. But the Ghost's first appearance is the first full-on appearance of the Ghost is during the Wasp's first fight. And it's she's already fighting against enemy number 1, villain number 1, which is Walter Goggins in this movie. And then the second villain comes in, and you're like, okay, all right, we're gonna go with this. And the effect is amazing. So basically, as the story progresses, you learn her dad was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. He was trying to... What's the portal called?
The quantum
realm. Basically, that's one good, quote in this movie. He's do you guys just put the word quantum before everything? I'm like, yes, they do!
Yeah, they do!
They're trying to open the quantum portal, you get to the quantum thing, the quantum blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, huge explosion. She rushes back to go to her dad. Her mum's there. Both her parents die, but she gets, quantified.
Yeah. Quantify... quantify is,
quantum
a number.
Yeah,
you need the M in there. Yeah.
And she's kind of phasing, and she has this great line where she is kind of explaining her history to Scott, Hank, and Hope. I was saying that basically every day, every cell in her body rips apart and is torn, thrown back together. And so she's been basically living in pain for 15 years. She's been weaponized by S.H.I.E.L.D., which is her story. And so you feel sorry for her. She's in chronic pain.
Yeah.
And she can't control the phasing. And man...
It's a good...
For a villain, you're like, I relate so much. Not so much, but I'm
like,
so on your side.
Yeah.
It's like the guy from
Black Panther?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Killmonger.
It's like Killmonger.
Totally. Marvel are trying to make their villains relatable.
Relatable.
They're trying to give them a motive, which is what a villain needs to have.
And they honestly did that. So with Ghost, you were completely... She was like a half villain.
She's like an antagonist.
She's an antagonist, whereas Sonny Birch, he's just a dick.
He's just a dick.
He wanted to make money and like do things. I'm like, get out of the photo!
Get out. The photo. Good.
The picture.
Yeah.
I would just say picture, but photo came out.
But yeah, same with the visuals. There's also the incredible Giant Man scene. We'll get another one of those. That was very good.
And this one was great because he went like bigger than he's ever really gone before.
Yeah.
And that was all because of a malfunctioning suit.
Yeah.
Which he continued to wear the entire movie.
Because we had the other one. He used the other one to track down the building early on.
Yeah. And then apparently that one was it. And then they used the malfunctioning one for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Great comedic timing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marvel.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for giving us like a Deadpool baby legs equivalent when he's in the school.
Yes!
The little one.
Oh, he did? Oh, that was a
very
great
cute.
moment. I wondered why this was like familiar to me.
Yeah, no, it's the baby legs. I love when he's like at the trying to get the bag and like jumping, and Hope's like, "You can do it."
Yeah. You're almost there, come on.
It's very funny.
And then they continued with the joke.
Yeah.
They're like, did you need a juice box and some string cheese? He's like,
Do you have that?
Do you have that? Yeah.
So cranky.
Visuals in this film again, like when he's like running down the steps and there's just like a tiny little Paul Rudd. It's like how?
He can't do both steps. He has to like stop on each one.
Very good movie.
And the sleeves.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they did it. I really don't.
I don't care.
I don't care. Something that speaking of don't care, but it was still good. But it was quite funny. The quantum realm, like the biggest thing in the film, when Hank finally goes in it, I was like, yeah, I kind of want to watch that stuff. Like, I wanted him to get Janet, but it was like, this thing's over here's happening. This one's quite cool. Like when they went back to him, you're like, oh yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, this is happening.
This is still happening.
He's like,
Mostly small. Somewhere in the...
I like it because you need the light and the dark. It's not dark, but you need the contrast to really enhance the other. And it was beautiful, like what they did with the quantum realm. And there is a line when he says, like, Janet, you never told us just how, Scott, Janet, I know, you never told us just how beautiful it was. And it was really
stunning.
great, and the effect was great.
It's so unique, like, because we've seen,
because
we've seen crazy shit in Doctor Strange and crazy shit in Guardians and stuff, but this is just like nothing else, like nothing else in cinema really. Like it was just like. It was drugs. It was drugs.
That reminds us of the Stan Lee.
Yeah, Stan Lee had it. I was like, maybe he's not in this film. Like, it was getting pretty deep in, and I was like, maybe not in this one. But no, he had a good cameo, and I guess Janet throws a disc and misses.
Not Janet.
Oh, Lewis. Lewis would have, maybe? Who's throwing the disc around?
I don't know,
Someone threw it, and it hit Stan Lee's car, and then it shrunk down. Well, I had fun in the 60s, but it's really paying off now.
Yeah!
Which is a great line, because it's like, just talking drugs. In the 60s maybe he took it, but it's like he wrote the Ant-Man in the 60s, so it's like, it's his fault all of this is happening.
Yeah.
So it was a good meta Stan Lee line. That whole scene was great. All the Hot Wheels cars. That was something that most kids had as a kid.
As a guy.
As
a child.
As a kide.
As a kide.
And it was so good. And especially the one Lewis chose is such a...
Hot
Wheels car. Yeah,
yes.
It was very cool.
The way that they take the technology of minimizing and maximizing from the first movie and translate it into the second movie is just so good.
Clever.
You can completely believe that they've been working on this technology for the last 2 years and used it to help them evade the law. Yeah,
totally.
Basically.
Yeah, that's why they've been discovered. Yeah, totally. And I think just thinking about the film as a whole, that the fact that I'm going back to it being light. After Infinity War, it was like, this is all devastating. And this film, I was like, Hank's gonna die. I was like, Hank's gonna die. Then there's no way
they're gonna kill him.
They're gonna freaking kill Hank. But it was all happy.
It was happy.
I've just imagined a noise. It's all happy until the post-credit scene. Which was, Will was very excited.
It was amazing.
I was so happy.
I don't think I have had a moment in a cinema where I've gone,
yeah.
It was like, it hit the chest. You're like, yes!
Yeah.
This is everything I wanted and I didn't even ask for it.
Yeah. It was, and like, I was thinking about it, I'm like, wow, man, that must be devastating. Scott doesn't know. Because he's like, where are you guys? He's got no idea of what happened to the world.
And the scene when they reveal it, because
Yeah.
you can kind of
You know what's
knew
happening,
what was
yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
And then like Scott's in the quantum realm, and they're like testing, and they go like 5, 4, 3. No, they didn't go there. They went there.
And they did,
and
yeah.
then some, and Scott's like, "What's going on, guys?" And then you see it, and it's just
dust falling.
this dust,
Oh.
but it's eerily quiet, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh!"
Freaking terrifying. And yeah, because
It was terrifying.
It was and because it's funny because because in Infinity War when you see Nick Fury and stuff, it's happening for them. Like Hank and the rest of them were right at the forefront. So it's a good image of how harm everything was. Like no one was expecting it. Because when you watch Infinity War, you're up against everyone fighting and stuff, and you're like,
And they're trying to stop the snapping from happening.
yeah, from the snap, and it's a good. I love that phrase. And so you're like, you know it's gonna happen, and you're like, it's all tense and stuff. Whereas that's what the world was. They were just having another day, just grabbing some energy and stuff, and that was the end. It was terrifying, and also, even though it's a little bit funny, it's actually even more terrifying the end when the ant's playing the drums because the TV's dead. There is no one in the house. It's
again
it's
eerily quiet.
Yeah, it's a gag, but it's really like the ant doesn't know.
And then they said the Ant-Man and the Wasp will return. You're like, well, you spoiled it
yeah,
all.
but actually, I looked it up. I missed it. There's a question mark. We missed it.
I didn't.
It's
see
like
the
Ant-Man and
question
the
mark.
Wasp, and then it comes up with a question mark after will return.
So will return ends, and then
And
a
then
question mark comes up.
No, it follows at the end of it.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah,
see
I
it.
didn't see that. But yeah, so it's like it's not really saying it, but we'll get them. Ant-Man at least. Ant-Man's fine. Have you got anything?
Exactly, like the balance of serious and lightheartedness that you really want.
Yeah.
I felt the same about Ragnarok.
Yeah, totally.
When
yeah.
I watched Ragnarok, and I know a few people didn't like Ragnarok, but they can go get stuff because Ragnarok was the best movie of 2017.
17, yeah. It came out that year.
Although, in that genre.
Yeah, okay. just wanted to...
It's still like my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, totally. It's the same, and it's almost the same thing where it's like everything's happy, and then the post-credit scene is...
Yeah.
Thor's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's that?
They are doing something so right. I don't want to say good, but because
Yeah.
it is good, but good's not even the word I want to use. It's right. They're correct. They're like, yes, you found that string of gold, and you're pulling on it, and it's just it's making money everywhere.
This phase is the best phase. Like, it's a reason that everyone's favourites are like, I like Ragnarok and Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War, because they're the best ones.
best.
They've nailed it. They know their formula now. And they know when to pull back on humour, I think, now. Like, I think the only time when, and I still enjoyed it, the jokes may come across too strong is all the Lewis stuff. Like, those guys, they're funny. Like, all the lines they have are funny, but...
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Yes!
What a great joke. Very funny.
Kurt, who should be named Vlad.
Vlad. Kurt is not a Russian name. Maybe it is. Kurt sounds German to me.
If you know the answer to that, write it in the comments.
Let us know if Kurt is actually Russian or if it's some other European thing.
Oh,
but
Victor.
Victor. Victor could have been a good one, yeah.
Yes.
Just names from What We Do in the Shadows. But...
It is.
Yeah.
That's why I chose
Yeah,
that,
good. Yeah, but yeah, so like all their stuff might be too strong for some people, but it's still fine in this film. Like that's where the humor is turned up to 11, but humor is turned up to 11 to turn down the campiness of the bad guy. Like they balance out in a really good way.
And they're really there for comedic. They're the comedic lighthearted, like the gesture of the movie.
What's up?
What's up? So good.
Very funny.
Yeah, it was very, very well done.
Yeah.
I just want to see it again.
I know. I was so satisfied, and I can't believe. Like, I don't know.
There's nothing more that I wanted from this movie.
No, we've got Captain Marvel coming up next.
When's that?
Well, February. Next is, in terms of a timeline, it's next, but it's not very soon. It's gonna be pretty cool. It's set in the 90s.
Yes.
So we're gonna see a young Samuel L. Jackson. I hope he looks like Pulp Fiction Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes!
That'd be cool.
Oh,
That'd be really funny.
That
He's
would
wearing
be
like a black
great.
and white suit. That'd be really cool. Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp. If you haven't already seen it, please do go and see it. Don't know why you're here at the end of this.
Perfect daddy-daughter date thing.
Exactly.
Definitely
Yeah, absolutely.
recommend.
Yeah. You should just see it. Just freaking get out there and see it because it's very fun. It's very fun.
Worth it.
See it before you see Aquaman in December because that might be terrible. So just put
And then if that comes out in December, make sure you hire Ant-Man and the Wasp after you see Aquaman.
Absolutely.
We don't have high hopes for that movie.
So
just go home and get to watch
just
something
watch
good.
it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, TC, but I'm not.
Just not giving us the vibes.
Light both sides of your actors, please.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm not full DC.
I say like half.
With half of your face covered.
Marvel,
DC. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the film. If we said anything wrong, which we might have, you know, we don't know everything.
Happens.
Yeah. What else can they do?
They can like, they can subscribe, they can give us more suggestions. Like if there's a movie or if there's something that you want us to do or to see or review, let us know.
Yeah.
We're more than happy to do that.
And if you want to send suggestions pretty directly, you can go over to our Patreon at patreon.com/each-their-own. $2 gets you in our super secret Discord server. There's people chatting all the time. They're talking about things in video games that I don't even understand, but you know, you can learn about new things. So
if you're not really up on the whole Patreon thing, you can definitely check us out on Instagram at _ettogram, and you can send us a DM that way.
Yeah, do that. I'm posting stuff there now because I'm bored and I have access to a phone. So, you know, if you go over there, you can find out the latest news on like Marvel and Star Wars and anything that I like. See how I didn't say DC? Just be nice to us, DC, and we'll like you back. That's all you need to do, buddy.
It's a reciprocal relationship. It's how the world goes round.
Thank you for watching, and until the next one, Will out.
Zara out.
And then there's like a 20-second bit at the end where there's videos up the top that people can watch.
Okay,
and then they can subscribe over here.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
I like that.
Yeah.